Doom and Destiny Advanced! Okay, real fast, I want to say I think it's cool I've been doing these weekly videos long enough for one of the developers has made a sequel to one of their games. To all 3 people still watching my videos, thanks. So anyway, Doom and Destiny Advanced, sequel to Doom and Destiny, which came out on Steam back in 2011. The basic stuff from the first game is still there. Honestly, though, that isn't too hard. The first game was pretty basic as far as mechanics go. I think the only new idea it offered was regenerating HP and MP, which was nice. Everything else, though, is standard. The game made its mark with its humor. It took a lot of stereotypes in RPGs and gaming in general and parodied them. It wasn't a terribly long game, had a decent difficulty curve, and in general was a delightful little Steam game to pass the time with. Doom and Destiny Advanced has its own identity. This game features unique enough mechanics to make a player say, "This is a Doom and Destiny game, not a Final Fantasy, not a Breath of Fire." Each character gets 4 classes so far, and Ficus was smart enough not to make each class a character gets a clone of the other. For example, Mike can go from a cleric, which is a healer type with holy offenses, to a knight, which focuses more on damage than healing. A really nice feature is whenever you change classes, your characters automatically equip the optimal gear for that class. This also happens whenever you buy anything. I really like this. I also like how gear has been broken down to weapons, single armor slot, and an accessory. Essentially, your stats aren't manipulated by gear, instead being manipulated by your class. You'll also notice a lack of typical item and spell options in battle. Certain classes get to do certain things in this game. For example, Francis as a ranger can use the option Mana Potion to restore MP to allies, but he can't heal anyone. On the flip side, Johnny as a barbarian can use the option Food to heal with, but can't restore any MP to anyone. These particular abilities also don't use a standard potion or other item. Instead, you have a food count, part count, and regents count. Everyone who heals with food pulls from this meter and so on. Again, I like this idea. It simplifies things and is, as far as I know, unique to this series. In the first Doom and Destiny, you leveled your character stats in a fairly brain-dead manner. Each character had a color representation and their best stats were the same color. The game almost leveled itself. This time around, it isn't so straightforward. Each stat gets a quick description so you have an idea of what you're doing, and leveling to make your knight amazing may not be so good for your cleric. This is another really good idea, though I would like clarification on the might stat. It says it raises damage, and I'm wondering if that's all damage or if it's just limited to basic attack damage. Because if it's the latter, my mage hasn't been getting any damage increases at all. I can't say all good things about this one like I could with its predecessor though. As much as I love the class system in Advance, it frustrated me when there are specific segments I needed the knight to continue the game with, but nowhere up till now had it been mentioned outside of the prologue. I ended up having to backtrack almost to the beginning of the game to find the 2 pieces needed to complete this puzzle. Now, this particular secret wasn't too difficult to find, but it's the point of the matter. If the player requires something to advance, the game shouldn't be keeping it secret. Things to enhance the game and give the player an added edge against the computer are secrets. This is also purely a personal opinion, but this game wasn't nearly as funny as the previous one. The game is early access, so there is much more content to come, but from what I've seen so far, a lot of the memey humor that made the first one stick out in my mind just isn't present here. It continues to mock JRPG stereotypes to be sure, but you aren't fighting tentacle hentai monsters in Japan this time around, you know what I mean? The game still gets a chuckle out of me every now and then, but I think the funniest thing it has to offer is the main bad guy seems to be the embodiment of Steam itself. This game is in early access, and while that term has become something of a swear word lately, this developer has given me no reason to worry. His last game was a success, and Ficus seems to have a genuine passion for what he's doing with this series. I'm here to tell you with confidence, you can give this guy your $10 and receive a fully completed game in due time.